Hello, welcome to Bio 3. We'll start to talk about reproduction and mitosis, or cell division. So we'll talk about reproductive system first. So reproduction. What's the purpose of reproduction? Some of my students told me that, oh, for fun. No, sorry. Reproduction is not for fun. Reproduction is for continuation of species, meaning that we want to pass on our genes to the offspring. So what structures and processes are involved in reproduction? This is These are the topics that we will cover. We'll talk about the male reproductive system first, and then we'll talk about female reproductive system. And I can assure you that the male reproductive system is a lot simpler than the female reproductive system. So we have sexual organs. The primary one, they are the gonads and genitalia. These are the primary. The secondary, they are the breast or attractive body features. For example, the sexual organ, the primary one, we can also call it the primary sexual characteristic. Secondary sexual organ, we can also call it secondary sexual characteristics. For female, development of the breast or widening of the hip, accumulation of body fat, etc. Accumulation of the body fat is because for female to store enough energy for pregnancy. For male, the secondary characteristic is like the facial hair, the beard, muscular mass, widening of the shoulder, the pectoral girdle, and so on and so forth. Those are the male secondary characteristics. And then for the brain, we have the pituitary glands. Yes, our brain secrete let's put it this way. Our brain has something called hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. Hypo means under or below. Thalamus is another structure in the brain. So hypothalamus, meaning that this part or this structure of the brain is under the structure thalamus. So we call it hypothalamus. Hypothalamus secrete something called GnRH. GnRH stands for gonadotrophin releasing hormone. 2, I call it NPID. NPID stands for anterior pituitary, and that anterior pituitary will secrete it's not GH. Will secrete gonadotrophin hormone. Gonadotrophin hormone is mainly FSH, and LH. FSH stands for follicle stimulating hormone, LH stands for luteinizing hormone. And then FSH and LH will go to the gonads, namely testis or ovary. For testis, it will secrete testosterone. For ovary, it will secrete estradiol. Estradiol is a form of estrogen, the female hormone. So that is the general pathway for we call it endocrine pathway for the reproductive hormone. So function of organs of reproduction, okay, for attraction. Attraction, it is, well, as you know that when animal, during the so-called mating season, your cats or dog, they will be on heat, and then the cats and dog, they will release pheromone. Pheromone will attract. The pheromone is secreted by the sexual organs, and then you attract the mate. Of course, it's for mating. It is the sexual intercourse. Gametes production. Gametes means sex cells. Gametes mean sex cells, namely, you know that sperm and eggs. Eggs and sperm. Okay, sperm, when it is plural or singular, it has no S, okay? Even if it is plural, that we do not put an S, but eggs, okay, we put an S behind it. Fertilization. Fertilization means that when an egg is merged or fertilized by a sperm, a single sperm. When one single egg is merged or fertilized by a single sperm, we call it fertilization. Support embryonic development, what's that mean? Meaning that during pregnancy. So for human being, it is like a 9 months pregnancy. Support the baby after birth. Well, after birth, how does the organs of reproduction support the baby? It is mainly refers to the breast of women that can produce breast milk. Control and communication. In here, the communication refers to the placenta. The placenta during pregnancy acts as the communication between the mother and the fetus. Control, of course, the menstrual cycle in women is controlled by the ovary. So a human life cycle. We start with the gamete, the sex cells, okay, the gamete. So we have an egg cell, we have a sperm cell, okay. Each, the egg cell has one end, the gamete has also one end. N means haploid. Haploid means that the cell has 23 chromosomes. That means the egg cell has 23 chromosomes, the sperm cell has 23 chromosomes. And then fertilization, meaning that the fusing between egg, fertilization here, it means that it is the fusing between the egg and the sperm. So it will become a diploid. Diploid meaning that 2N. 2N, that means the cell will have 46 chromosomes. So as you can see that when the 1N egg fused with the 1N sperm, and then it will become 2n. That means 46 chromosome. And we no longer call them egg or sperm. We call them zygote. Zygote means fertilized egg. Zygote means fertilized egg. And then after we have the zygote, then guess what? Mitosis occur. Mitosis is a form of cell division. We will talk about that in the next lecture, meaning that the one zygote is one cell, and then during mitosis it will become 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 16 cell, 32 cell, 64 cell, etc. The mitosis occurs at the exponential rate. And then the multicellular diploid, and then when we become adult, then all the body cells we have in the adult, they are diploid. All of them, except what? Except our gametes. When we become adult, I should say, all the gametes, all the sex cells, namely sperm and egg that make by our body, they are haploid. So the process of making the gamete or the sex cell is called meiosis. Some people call it meiosis. So there are different ways of pronouncing it, either meiosis or meiosis. That makes the haploid gamete cell. So the rest of the body, from your brain cell neuron to your skin cell, from the skin cells, everything will be diploid. Each cell will have 46 chromosomes. Because half of the chromosome they are from your father, half of your chromosome from your mother. We call it homologous chromosome. Homologous, meaning, okay, one from your father, one from your mother. But when we make the gamete, when we make the sex cell, then we use meiosis to make the gametes, and those are the haploid. So for human being, we use a sexual reproduction, as you know that, okay. So we already talked about that. We use meiosis to make the gametes, egg, sperm and egg, and then fertilization occur, and then it forms gamete. As I said, that not gamete, it forms zygote. Sorry, zygote is basically fertilized eggs, and then mitosis occur, and the cell divide exponentially, and then mitosis continue to occur. So the first mitosis is basically during pregnancy. So this is like the first mitosis during pregnancy. So the zygote will go through mitosis, and the cell will multiply exponentially to develop into a fetus, and then after birth, mitosis continue to occur so that it will increase the cell number. Then the baby will grow taller and taller until we become adult. Then we'll not really until we are adult. Then we will start to, when our reproductive system mature, maybe during puberty, then we will start doing meiosis or meiosis to make gametes. So we need one male and one female for sexual reproduction. It sounds very simple. And then asexual reproduction occurs in a lot of bacteria or prokaryotic cell. Is basically what they are doing is asexual reproduction. Basically they are doing mitosis, believe it or not. Yes. So one cell here will become 2 cells, 2 identical cells. So one mother cell will become 2 identical daughter cells. This is essentially a mitosis, and then each daughter cell will become 4. Each daughter cell will also go through the mitosis, become 2 granddaughter cells. So it will be 4 granddaughter cells. That means it is exponentially increasing. Some of the So asexual reproduction occurs. You can see it. You can see most of example in bacteria and prokaryote.